我方采取的投资方式是提供供养下地大部分生产物的方法。我方采取的投资方式是提供全部资金还有技术和主要的设备，为了使我们的合作的事情快开，也请规范早日交付投资之前，可以在活动中一定交付期间。我们的投资交付期间也就下次价格里的气氛里的交付，为了解决的经分担问题，请规范现汇率、保证结构可以活动。为了保证产品质量和微小计划的完成，请首先角度梳理方向上需规范的在提供设备的质量方面和产品的外向方面的对性。两方面我看可以在合同中确定我方的应尽的责任。他非常感谢好的开始是成功的一半。我们的合作大有希望，但愿如此。赵先生，我们应该商量一下，水产公司都是违反问题了。你说的对，我们是合作经营属于分配方面的友好方协商方对我们双方的投资都没有折算成投资比例，我们就按双方具体的合作条件商量一下收入成分和利润成分的比例吧。而这个分配比例也要兼顾双方的利益。我们商量要当小组的规定是为了尽快成还规范的投资分析，我方可以采取提高规范的分成比例的方式来讲。我们的合作期限定为20年还是30年？看就定为30-40年怎么样？我尊重你的意见，就定为40年。40年中，对方不但可以按合同规定的投资回收这些收回投资本息，还会得到应得的利润。陶先生合作经营期满以后，水产公司的产区就可以归中方所有。是的，那是这就是我方可以断续经营。我相信完成会重大这一点。先专心讲讲中国内地的规模开放，美国给继续做感谢我国规模发展会开发绝对国内外的动 心在大心，期待在梦醒，质量的管理和坚持就是人生方面都给怎么做，可以根据规划的要求决定全面的合作计划，那是在中去来过了，非常感谢周先生与您看，我们双方在去哪儿做比较好呢？刚才开始阶段，我们可以采取营业方式规划，提供资金及技术和设备，无法提供自愿劳动力或现有的方式。您的意思是说，双方的投资不从投资舞弊是投双方的权益义务和收益的分配比例都通过或协商，在合同中规定一下，其按产品和利润的一定比例采取提成的方式，按合同的规定的投资回收期限长符规范的投资。除此之外，规范还会得到相当的利润。我们可以同意您说的合作经营方式，合同的具体条款我们都考虑一下，然后再做研究，好吗？可以，我们今天就谈到这里吧。四贵公司的准备投资是什么意义？我们做经营还想需有种开发完了呢，我们的合作前景是不错的。除了资金，我们将采取公司在的投资类的方式，这是这部分提供的信息。设备没有规格时，还要缴纳进口的税吗？当然不用，我们政府规定直接用于正常开发。海洋石油的机器设备免征进口环节的关税。那在合不过了，季先生，我们这次合作很可能发现他的出高产有件与我看在真的上演是正常。开后，我们应该从现在的这也许合作的经营方式向前进一步采取。不过就开发开中有技术的中国政府将这些话都知道。中国政府要派员参加领导和管理海洋石油开发这样大的企业，中国政府参与指导和管理可理解。我想只要我们双方合作用不了多少年，我们都会有小的收益。您说的对，我们渐渐外资不光是为了资金，其实也要是外上有利。等到我统计完的数据全部归我国所有，您的公司也全部收回了投资的 关系，而且肯定会得到相当一比例的。对了，你现在的乐器或者经营，对我们分的理论会去归我是要的是这样，当贵公司取得应得的利润时，就要缴纳外商投资企业的税，还有一定的地方所得税。等到你把得到的税后利润汇出我国时，就不再纳税了。我们什么时候是政府欢迎贵公司到我市来投资？我国外国投资服务中心就是为外国投资者提供辅导。多谢王先生，我们什么电子公司打算在什么时建立一家半导体光和一家汽车收音机馆？这两家工厂贵公司预计投资就算成人民币是多少？贵公司预计投资就算成人民币，我们预计投资什么万美金？就算成人民币大约是什么万美？吉米尔先生，贵公司是不是想和我市经营这两项业务的时候，我们还是独自经营比较好。独自经营投资股份和经营权全部只归我方所有。我们可以采取我们的自己的经营管理方式进行和经济，那是贵公司的无论采取哪种经验来投资，我们都是的欢迎的。外商投资那种股资企业近年在我市发展也很快，这样吧，请你把设立投资企业的申请是可行报告企业章程草案，连同申请人的法律证明文件、资金的证明文件都是准备好，我帮助您办理程序处理。那我们就多麻烦黄先生了。贵公司来我市投资办法，我们应该协助。被计算投资股份，所以不是按投资比例也分制，而是按双方的出资条件通过的有好的现象在些以合同中规定合理的比例分配产品和利润。这个国内新办的合作经营企业中方采取提供 开放吹气提供进行技术设备的方式投资双方要按合同的规定的规则交付这些投资，双方可以共同经营管理也可沟通有主管理或第三方管理。좋지만 후企业归中方所有，除了合作合作企业还有外商独资经营企业。一般来说，中方可向独资企业提供土地、广泛或不方便材料等，按照双方的绑定的价格收回。外商独资经营企业的特点是鼓励经营，支付盈亏。我们经营企业及独立经营企业还有上取得的利润都要向中国缴纳外国企业的所得税。Dollarability is famously the many-faced figure, and the fashion designer facets shine with such dazzling brightness in so many directions. Of course, all the brands he works for, that is sometimes overshadow the other insatiable leader in the spot.
우선 아이패드를 잠금 해제하셔야 합니다.
Connoisseur of the fabric, the tireless and the draftsman, and the creator of the still and moving image in the form of the photographs and the film. Although this last aspect of his career may not blaze quite as brightly as his fashion work, he has undoubtedly grown in importance as the years have gone by. While Lagerfeld has been a leading figure in the world of couture for more than half a century, he only began practicing photography on the professional basis in the late 1980s, initially just a means of the backing up his design or his message, serving the simple purpose of illustrating his many collections. Photography quickly took on the significance of its own, becoming the subject of the public and the private project, books, catalogs, and magazines and ads, and sometimes even extending beyond the brands with which he is the most closely linked. In a sense, Lagerfeld, the photographer, was born as an offshoot of Lagerfeld, the designer, and as a side effect of his joining Chanel in 1983 at the same time as the house new image director who would go on to become a cultural or close collaborator in image making. The much heralded arrival of Lagerfeld was the most visible sign of the desire to revive the dormant brand, whose allure was somewhat diminished after the passing of this legendary founder. Nobody wanted to touch his Puerto It was a homeless case. With the insatisfable appetite of every aspect of his craft, Lagerfeld was, of course, familiar with the very last strand of fashion photography, and the biggest name in the field were hired, from Helmut Newton to Arthur Engord, from Olivier Toscani to Albert Watson. Chief among these was Newton, for whom Lagerfeld had professed his admiration even before joining Chanel. Newton had previously done print ads for perfume launches when Lagerfeld was still at Chloe. It was also Newton who took the first official portrait of the Lagerfeld in 1983. In an article published in a contemporary edition of Vogue, and the Lagerfeld portrait of Newton comes strikingly close to a self-portrait of the Lagerfeld himself, as he focuses on the things that they have in common and examines of the common component elements of the vision they share. A concept with a provocative femininity that goes against the standard cliché of the gender. Strongest accent being the one that the first think of, the ultimate of the technique, called perfection, elevated to the level of the aesthetic, called the hallmark of the style. The desire to be absolutely modern. There is no trace of the nostalgia in the work of the Helmut Newton. Only today's world and today's fashion could allow him to create images like this. And lastly, the empire. Perhaps the most important of all, the resolute cosmopolitanism that paradoxically had its roots in the very ancient and deep and almost vanished the kind of Germanness. head is strong and simply very sensitive, but almost vanished kind of person, which was reflected in the German unique Berlin ancient German with the humor and the intonation. 짜자잔. That habit to disappear, the roof is used to the same. Speaks to this part. Accent that only survive among the immigrants. Immigrants. The exile who will always have anyone covered in bury it with endlessly transformed elements taken from his own past, that he has created his own characteristic style. With this last sentence in particular, the designer could just as easily be describing himself. In the last Newton construct and course to the separate travel of himself, as he focused on the things they have in common, examine component elements of the vision they share, consider whether the work of capability that goes against the standards of cliché of gender, and with the stronger sex not being the one that people first think of, a demand of the technical perfection elevated to the level of the aesthetical. It's the hallmark of the style and the desire. That these famous fashion photographers even kinder spirit like Newton were only ever called upon to create an imagery brand of the outside world at the time when brand building played a far small the role that it does today. However, photography also played other role the fashion business. One example being in the creation of the mood board and those colleagues resources material that inspiration images that now seem to be customary among designers. Other being in the completion of the actions intermediately the
인터미디어리 관련 미리 알림을 찾지 못했습니다.
aims that now seem to be customary among designers. Another being the compilation of the essential intermediary. Carefully chosen selection of the images that sum up the spirit of the collection, which is sent out of the limited number of fashionistas, journalists, buyer, and then the other before the new season is presented. These press kits are purely functional items with a limited circulation, destined for ostensibly private use, but their importance of the diffusion of each season's new line should not be underestimated. For perfectionists like Lagerfeld or the devil in the detail, and he soon began express his dissatisfaction with the shots of his creation that he had shown, in the belief that if you want something done, you should do it yourself. He agreed to Eddie Fitzgerald's suggestion that he should start taking photos himself in the Lagerfeld's first press kit. Cover Spring Summer Horticulture was sent out of January 1987 and started in instead fragrance whom Lagerfeld had in the totally new approach, made his muse and the exclusive face of the brand. In his first campaign for the following season's horticulture collection, she was shown posing with the handful as props. Ines. She was imposed in the hand of a prop, the draped curtain, a glitter, and Louis Vuitton chair, and choosing to harmonize with her garments, so she wore. Little did she know that she was at the head of the paradise of a supermodel, from the Christy Turlington to Cara Delevingne's, who would follow her in photo photographs and lines over the decades. Something that had formerly been more like a hobby or a private passion become a new form of expression of the Lagerfeld. Those years' shoots were done with the aid of the single assistant permanent schools. He is still there 30 years later as a part of the team that has grown up over time to meet growing demand and whose key members remain the same. Right? Despite the mask of the diversity that he sometimes hide behind the loyalty to his regular collaborator, has always been one of Lagerfeld's innate quality as he tended to his own working method. According to the article, Lagerfeld has never allowed without having concept, the composition, and the coloring of the priestly picture in his head. It is the team's responsibility to deal with the necessity and logic to transform and the equipment that are required to prepare for the shoot and arrange the set, the handle outfits and the makeup. Of course, the move has required some huge logical changes. The backdrop for the image in the maybe the simple folding screen. The coat is shooting in white gold and an allusion to one of the house of the Chanel signature element, the staircase of the Paris townhouses, some hanging drapery, balcony over the Mediterranean, over some pictures squeezed quarter of the Vona areas, the beach of the island of the Split in far north Germany, of the Lugan in the Baltic, in the favorite place of the German romantics whose unique the late afternoon sunlight alone justified of the visit. I have a big team, explained, and the logical field himself in the interview with the Aperture in the magazine in the 1904. We are often nearly all the people I started working with from the beginning. You can spend night or days with people you don't like. You like. I don't want to. I don't have to. It's fun to be. It's fun to be in a studio, and I think it's fun to be an outdoor. In fact, I like very much to be outdoor. But there were some photos that require backdrop. You know, these backdrop are paintings that the Parisian stage painter makes for me. Even these generous results cannot always guard against the unexpected, especially when it comes to the weather. On the occasion after the decision had been made of the shoot in Hong Kong, the team found themselves confronted by a storm so huge that had to be settled for the improvised studio setup in the hotel room. Nothing is too much effort. They can even rebuild the whole street like a film set in order to recreate the long scenes. It definitely the setting to Gabriel Chanel first boutique and the hurry up. I just want to hurry up. The parallel could be drawn between the work of the bottega of the assistants that the atelier that the purser. Leading figure in the contemporary arts such as the Damien Hirst of the Jeff Koons, whose involvement is primary to provide concept impetus. In the supervision, but it means ignoring the most fundamental and even promise aspects of it. But they would manage ignorance most fundamental, even primary aspects of Rockefeller's approach. One day leads him to keep the pencil in his hand all the time and to communicate through the sketches just as easily as he does through the word. Be at the main drawing that accompany all this idea and the shape. Every designer accompany all these idea and the shape every design and created for the houses he works for. I'm of graphic attitude. This is a phrase he used in the graphic. I'm of a graphic. Some of his approach to his general expression does not have to be understood as pertaining only to lines and contour that give definition to the tangible reality and the figure of the design. It could just as easily refer to the intangibly fine texture of the skin or the skull image of was beginning the word further by throwing with light as filmmaker of theater director might. For him, it's another way of sketching of the pinning down an idea. Doesn't have been interested in his painting or its lines to give the definition to the tangible reality. The fashion photograph of the kind featured the press kit. The fashion photography of the kind featured in the press kit invariably handled by first onwards. From the teens somewhere must not be confused but with advertising program. The image do not have the same status of the same function. From where, as we have seen, are intended to compare this particular action besides in the people in their chosen direction of the season. The latter project promotes the image of the metaphor over time across the multimedia. They are designed to grab attention, close the gap and stand out from the endless tide of its glossy magazines are constantly swamped. Their aim is more immediately commercial, which is photographer's view is by no means a bad thing. These images are the building blocks of the brand identity, and as such, many of them feature a variation of the theme of the what can truly be called a traditional legend, whose elements and real has always loved to playfully interpret. This includes policies that reveal the events photography and life in the vintage photograph of virtuous circles created in the particularly the detailed from the collaboration lives of a design, which is the term as the designer inspired his own work for the brand. This concept is the key. Images that make a striking become many other besides the first few are shaped by the chance concrete. Treasure with the